I started off in the church. My grandmother, my mother, my grandfather. My grandmother was a missionary. Grandfather was a deacon. My mom was just a regular lay member. However, we grew up in the church. I started off singing in the choir, playing the drums, learned how to play the organ. Uh, but then, unfortunately, I became curious. I started in the gangs around 9 years old. My first initiation was at the age of 13. And and so growing up in the church, it was more of a forced thing, definitely, and it caused me to want to explore other things in life. And I'll never forget when I used to travel to the CD. I would go back and forth from my mom to my dad. And so when I was with my mom, we had started a gang called Skyway Soldiers in Skyway. And and then I would be at my dad's, and I would be from Deuce 8. And I'll never forget when the Deuce 8 used to be downtown Seattle. There was a guy. I used to have a lot of beef with a lot of people. And I think this was probably around the age, I'm skipping up a little bit, this was probably around the age of 16. And we were hanging out downtown in the early 90s. And a guy walked up. I was talking to a friend of mine. A guy walked up and said, see crazy? You see crazy? Boom, 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 boom. It shot my friend about 4 times, killed him. Didn't even give us an opportunity to say, no, I'm see crazy. But it was just things like that that I experienced, that unfortunately I wasn't raised like that. I was raised in church, but I just believe God had a purpose in all of that, and why He allowed me. And one thing I've learned is everything that you go through, God allows. And so there's a purpose in why He allows you to go through certain things. And I didn't understand it at that time, but I'm so grateful that I do now. So.
Whenever you first asked me to start working on this slideshow, I got excited because I knew how many people it would touch.
Yeah.
But then I started to get these emails from you with these different mug shots and things like that. See, crazy was really crazy.
Right.
Where did some of these mug shots come from? Like, where is it? City? Was it state? Was it? How did those come about? Who took those photos?
Well, I was in and out of institutions, juvenile systems, for assaults, shootings. The majority of them were violent crimes. I don't think I have one that's not violent. I'll never forget one in particular. I believe is the one in the ponytails. It was an investigation of a murder. Sherm was like my best friend. Definitely dibbled and dabbled with weed. Was a D-boy, grew up D-boy, dope boy. This was at the age of 18. I just got out of the institution from doing two years for a shooting. And so I got out at 17 and then ended up going back at the age of 18. And I went to the penitentiary from there and did 6.5 years. And so that was the time where they said, man, the homies came together and said, man, out of all what I was doing in the penitentiary, they said, man, you beyond crazy. When they heard about the details of my case, they said, man, you beyond crazy, you sick. They were gonna name me Psycho, but I had a friend already whose name was Psycho Mar. And so they said, man, you're beyond crazy. We're gonna name you Too Sick. You're too sick. And then that's when my name got transferred from C Crazy to Too Sick. I got out in 2004. I experienced a life of pimping and promoting prostitutes and in and out of state, doing what I did. I want to say around 2008, I'm not really good with time. About 2008, I did 13 months. I got a violation of no contact order. And the judge came in, I went in there and the judge said, listen, I want to revoke your probation. And you just do all of your time because I'm just constantly seeing you back and forth. You keep violating, and I'm tired of seeing you. Never forget while I was being transported from the bus in Yakima into the Yakima County. And I just thought about this. The guard says, "You know why you're here?" And I says, I don't care. And he said, "Well, I hope you do." And it was a man of color that in his eyes, he felt like he was looking out for me. He says, "The reason why they send black men to this Yakima jail is because they're trying to kill you." I sat in the hole, and there was a man, a brother, his cell was right next to mine. And we used to kind of converse and talk. And he says, "Hey, brother, I got a question for you." I said, "What's that?" And he says, "If you can ask one thing of God, and you know that he will literally change it, like right now, literally, you can just ask one thing from God, and he will give it to you, what will it be?" He was like, "Matter of fact, don't even answer it." So I pondered on that for about 2 weeks while I was sitting in the hole. And I believe it was at that moment where God began to show me my destiny. It was at that moment where I asked the guard for some paper, and I began to try to write down different things that I thought that I would desire from God, knowing that he would change it right now. And so out of all of these things, I asked God, I says, "Give me love back." And I used to walk around angry, mad all the time, like I had a chip on my shoulder, like folks owed me stuff that, I was better than, and it was love. And so as I began to write down, I wrote 7 messages, and out of those 7 messages, that's when God began to work with me. And one of the messages was love without condition. And I believe that one of my greatest challenges that really caused me to trust God was when I battled pretty much with my family. My grandmother, my mother, they've always been there. Grandfather. But we grew up with family. That's all I know is family, and yet for them to turn on me, it really was a low blow for me, and it almost caused me to give up.
Now people know of some of the journey, but then we have pictures like this one of you with the police chief and
right,
standing in front of possibly some of the cars that you could have been riding in had it not been a change.
Right.
They're carrying a lot of the different things that you used to despise them for, but now it's a different understanding. And a lot of folks don't understand that, whether it be family, friends, whatever the case may be, how is it that you're standing with these people now? What is it that this is actually about?
Well, definitely I owe it all to God. I owe it all to God. And it's because of my obedience to God that got me where I am today. This is where you've placed me, Lord, and I believe that I'm going to use my testimony to draw young men like I was. Not necessarily to fill up my church, but my focus is to change the community. And so that's really where the police chief came in. That's where the mayor came in. They supported me. They supported our ministry. They supported our vision. They supported our goals. We have partnered with a phenomenal group called Youth Link that also saw something in me that brought us together. And through our relationship, we have built a commitment that we're going to reach out into the community, and we're going to fight until lives get changed, until people get turned around, and which caused this program, the Team Redeemed Life Center, to be birthed out. I want to just first begin by saying thank you. This program would be nothing without you, all of our supporters, all of our partners, So I'm extremely thankful. We, the Team Redeem Life Center, are extremely thankful for your support. My petition to you in regards to the Life Center is we're based off referrals. We definitely, as a team, roll up our sleeves and we go get the youth. We bring them to the Life Center and revive them, rejuvenate them, and let them know that there is a greater way. There is purpose in you. This program is for life skill classes, computer labs, resume preparation, tutoring services, study areas, and paid job opportunities. So we're paying the youth to be a better youth, to be mentors to youth, to help us. And so we want you to definitely recommend us. The best way to contact us is by phone. You can contact us at our office at 206-708-7409, or you can go on our email at lcbowles1980@yahoo.com. You can deal with me direct as the CEO of this particular company, and we'll make sure that every need gets met. And our desire is that the youth become a better person. Hey, I'm Pastor Bowles, and we welcome you to the Team Redeem Life Center.